I mean, just if you could,
you
like,
me a tip? Okay.
just if you could, like, I think I'm gonna go up first, unfortunately. It's like, if you could just stall.
Welcome to the LA School of Comedy Open Mic, everybody! How are we doing this Manic Monday? I actually just got my meds figured out, so I can't really relate. All right, so it is actually, okay, open mic, closed mouth, open mic, closed mouth. Happy Passover. It is still Passover. It is still Passover. I'm not looking for attention. I didn't make it up. It's still Passover. We were reading from, it's a Haggadah, and it's the story of Passover. And we're reading it, you know, the whole family. It's in Hebrew, it's in English. We lean English. And it was my turn, and I get into it. I'm like, 1,000 years of oxen. And everyone's like, so wants to just get to the dinner part. But I got to the word ye. And I was stuck. I was like, and God, yay. And then all I could think about was Kanye West. I wanted to make a joke. I couldn't make the joke. They were saying, like, the people of, like, Laban or, like, Laban. Yeah. And my cousin's husband was like, it's Laban. And I was like, it's labia. Like, I was a piece of shit. I got wine drunk and threw up in the car home. And that means I'm free. People around me are not. But I am free. Woo. I was not commando, thank God. I don't know what that would have to do with it. That would just be more fun if it was. I'm doing good lately. I still work at the mall. On my way to work, I had taken an Uber. And it's a room full of regulars. So the people at home, it's like, I talk sometimes about how much I Uber. So it's like, if you were here a lot, like, you would understand that inside joke. That's why that got such a big laugh when I said Uber, is because... So I get out of the Uber, and I get out of the Uber, and I'm 500 feet away from my entrance. So it's like a very small amount of time for something to happen, so it's kind of impressive. I have a story about it. And I'm walking to the entrance of the Beverly Center, and there's this guy on, like, the bus bench, and he's, like, well-dressed, like, maybe even J. Crew, you know? And he goes, excuse me. I'm like, what a polite way to inconvenience me. I'll stop. And he goes, can I get to know you? And I'm addicted to talking to people, you know? And I was like, I'll be late. Like, I don't give a shit. I'll be like, it's for my career. Come on in, Kens. Come on in. I knew we shouldn't wait for him. That was a fat minute, you know? Take a seat. Hola. Missed a lot. No, you didn't. It's okay. Yeah, if you have to go to the bathroom, go while I'm on stage. Sometimes my parents helps with that. Maybe you want to go to the bathroom and take a second and look at themselves in the mirror. No. So he says, can I get to know you? And I went, no. Like, just, I went, because I thought about it. I was thinking of something witty. I was like, let me be a comedian. I was like, no. He's like, why not? Fair. I said, I think you should get to know yourself more. And he goes, I do. I said, well, because that's what I'm trying to work on. Like, personally, that's what I'm working on in therapy. I'm, like, trying to scare him away. And I was like, King, you're bold. Stay you. Stay true. I'm, like, walking backwards. And it was, like, the highlight of my month. So, like, that's where I'm at. I also, at the mall, there is a security guard who used to be a stand-up, of course, right? And he's hilarious, honestly. He's hilarious, but he's also very sad, which is funny. The security guards at the mall have no pepper spray, no gun, no stick, no build. Like, it's really a risk. You know, it's very much an acting position. I should try for that. That would mean I was a really good actor if someone hired me as security, you know what I mean? Like, full glitter, like everything. No, I can protect. But there's this other security guard. And he always wears a sweater, never a mustache. He doesn't wear the mustache, it's his mustache. Well, it stays. And it stays in one place. It's impressive. And he will never say hi or anything, but he's like one of those people who, like, touches everything he walks by, you know, like he sees, like, a ball, he'll push it. Like, it's the weirdest thing, like, because he works there. And I think of him as, like, a hamster you just got. You know, like, I've been warming it up to my scent or some shit. That's funny, Bath & Body Works scent. But I would show him the hand sanitizer, and I'd be like, you know, like, no words at first. I was like, And then one day he walked by, he paused, and he looked at me, and I went like this, and he kept going. I go, oh, that's improvement. And then now, every time he sees me, he goes like this. And I give him his hand sanitizer, and he keeps walking. And then the last time I saw him, you know, he goes like this, I go like this. Today it's a spray hand sanitizer. You go, oh, I didn't know you had those. I go, well, come inside. And I said, how are you? He says, good. He walks back, he goes, you know, I'm actually having problems with my lady. What a jump! You know what I'm saying? I don't even know this man's name. And I go, tell me more. And he's like, yeah, it's just always it's back and forth. You know, I can never be right. She doesn't like anything I say. I'm like, how long have you been together? 4 months. I was like, might be time to hit and quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here giving relationship advice at the mall for no reason. There's this guy who came in, and it was buy one get one free candles. Like, I don't know, it's not gonna happen again for months. Just so you guys can mourn that. Like, if you're thinking about asking me after the show, it's not gonna happen. So he's buying champagne toast, and I'm like, either he's really accepted his masculinity, or he has a fucking girlfriend. Go for him. He's not even hot, and I'm like mad at him for not wanting me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck! You're not buying that candle for me. He's like, what's another candle, like, a girl would like, you know what I mean? Guys ask me that, they go, well, like, if I was your boyfriend, get out of here. Because I just, like, don't make commission, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not that serious. But I suggest him a candle, and we're chatting, and he was like, yeah, I'm getting this for a first date. 2 3-wick candles, and a gift set. For a first date. And a single rose from Bonds. I said, I'm still paying for my date's Uber to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing something wrong. He's like, what a nice gesture. I've given my Netflix password away before meeting somebody. Is that real? Yeah. I don't know. Don't get me started on pictures. It's just too much. But let's get the show started on that note. Let's get vulnerable. I'm going to bring up our first comic of the night, a dear friend, a true comic, comedy machine. Give it up for the one and only Lenny McKenzie, everybody! Get to the stage, Lenny! We're mugged up in t-shirts!
What'd you say?
I said you're wearing Mark Zaffron's t-shirt.
I am.
Like, sponsored by.
Yeah.
Like a joke.
She just left.
Wardrobe by Zaffron.
Wardrobe by Zaffron.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Jew. Oh, V just left. Alright, off to a great start. Colin told me he was gonna be on his way, so shit might get, like, interrupted quite severely. Sam, I'm happy to hear that you still have your job.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have a tendency of throwing up and getting and you work in like a cleaning store, so I don't know how they feel about that. I just remember you saying throwing up in an Uber, and I couldn't help but think back to that night that you damn near threw up in my house. You remember that? Yeah. Oh my god, bro. You and your cousin both. Anyways.
And the lift had to pull over.
Yeah. You know that creepy Uber driver?
Tell that.
Okay. I don't have that too much. Too much to talk about. It's a small audience, so get into that. Holy shit! Sam's birthday, and both her and her cousin were drunk as fuck. Come on, NV. Yeah. I'm talking about how Sam got drunk and almost threw up in my house. Yeah. I live with like a disabled person too, so like, you know what I mean? Cause like, okay.
No, you're fine.
All right. I guess I'm not watching it live because I care.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta get on with this shit. Sam was drunk as fuck in an Uber, and so was her white girl cousin who was like 23, I want to say. And whatever the fuck, she's white to me. She was acting pretty white that night. Drunk as fuck, and we had this weird ginger Uber driver. And you were like, you want to come party with us?
What?
I was even like, I was just going to head home after the mic. But then Sam and her white girl cousin were like drunk as fuck. And I'm like, all right, we got 2 white girls walking around Hollywood at midnight drunk. I should probably like accommodate them. And I'm glad as fuck I did.
That's not what you said when I invited him. You sounded like you wanted to come.
I did, because I did want to come. And I had a good time. But like also I was like, no, I'm not gonna let you and your cousin walk around Hollywood drunk, because you fucking, the amount of you got into it with those fucking guys, and you lost your phone, and then like that was like fucking 2 nights and a half. Anyways, okay, fast forwarding several hours, the fucking creepy Uber driver was gonna drive us all home, and your cousin was like, I don't like this guy, he's creepy. We can't have him knowing where we live, he's too creepy. Lenny, let's just go to your house, and then we'll call another Uber and fucking pick us up from there. I'm like, I don't want this fucking creeper knowing where I live. We did just that. Fucking got both of your drunk selves inside. You called another Uber, you fucked off in about like 5 minutes, and I'm glad as fuck, because you threw up like right when you got in that fucking thing, didn't you? No? I was, the whole time you're in my house, I'm like, shit, she's gonna throw up. Like, we gotta get him in and out. And anyways, so just taking up most of my set. So I was thinking about how many Uber drivers might be like sniffing seats once we leave, you know what I mean? Because if you're in this, like, I'm very uncomfortable with Uber drivers, okay? And I was in an Uber the other day, and like I got out of the car, and I was like, I thought this guy was cool though. What if he's just sniffing my seat once I leave, you know? Yeah. There you go. It makes you fucking reconsider Uber drivers, doesn't it? Think you can fucking trust them and invite them to your birthday with fucking you and your drunk cousin with both of your fucking tits out. Thought it was a fucking great idea to have them follow us around all night. The fuck was I saying?
Poor rendition of A Beautiful Tale.
Yeah, that's true. My memory's not great. What the fuck was I talking about just before then? Oh, but if you were a seat sniffer, you would be an Uber driver though, right? Like that would be like a fucking sneak sniffer's dream job. So fuck Uber drivers was the point I was trying to make. I don't even remember what the fuck else I wrote. It was shitty. I like t-shirts. I like t-shirts with a little bit of information in the back. I'm sorry, I mean a little bit of information in the front. Then most of the t-shirts information is in the back. Because it's like, because when someone walks by you, it's like a little movie teaser. And then the movie, I'm sorry, I should have said that to the mic. I want to be a manager for my job, for my career. I want to be a manager. Yeah, I'm going to move on to higher shit eventually, obviously. But I want to be a manager at Hooters. Just because the job interviews would be really quick, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be like, alright, turn around. Okay. Fucking quickest, easiest job interview I ever conducted. I've changed a lot over the course of my life. I used to beat up small children on the playgrounds every day after work. It's so stupid. I think apples are just pairs with beef. Oh, fuck! Moving on. How much time do I have, Monica?
I have like 4 minutes.
Okay. Fuck me. I'm a very forgetful person. My forgetfulness caused my house to burn down in high school. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Sure none of you have heard this joke before. Hope you're all forgetful as I am. I'd fucking driven home from high school and I learned that, you know, my fucking house had just burnt to the ground, just all the way to the fucking grounds. And my family had escaped through the front door and none of them got hurt. But I still beat myself up over that incident each and every day. I just really wish I remembered, you know. Just wish I remembered to lock the front door. So I just graduated high school recently. Yeah, thank you, V. I knew you'd be the only person to clap for that, because I told this joke in front of the rest of them. I had a lot of fun in high school, mostly because I look like a school shooter. And when the principal thinks you're a school shooter, you own the fucking school, you know what I mean? I got to do whatever the fuck I wanted. I had so much fun. He'd be like, you're late today. I was like, am I? Would you rather not have one kid be here or all of them? I knew Charlotte liked that joke. I actually used to drive a Mustang in high school that my principal bought me. Yeah, I drive that thing around every fucking day. And I remember one day I was driving and I came across this fucking huge muddy puddle that was filled with just fucking mud and horse shit and who the fuck knows what. So I swerved my car off the road, and somebody's small child's had gotten in my path. So I'm like, oh shit, I might have to swerve last minute so I don't hit this fucking kid. And I tell you, I was washing my car for hours that night. Shit, I mean it. Because blood doesn't come out easy. Alright, that was my 3 minutes I was working on. I got like 1 minute left. 2? Fuck yeah. Alright, so it's only 2 minutes. Shit. You guys heard this new term, anti-racist?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of a silly term, isn't it? Like, just a little. Because, like, I feel like, well, my understanding, I think, behind anti-racist is it's not enough that we just not be racist. We have to be anti-racist, right? And the original thinking was, if you don't like racism, you'd be pretty fucking against it, right? Like, there's not a lot of in between. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a child rapist, but I've never heard anyone feel the need to say I'm an anti-child rapist. You know what I mean? That's just kind of presumed already. And if you say you're an anti-child rapist, you kind of sound like a child rapist. You know what I mean? Yeah, that one is a little blue. I think pears are just apples with BBLs. That's my dumbest joke. It deserves exactly that reaction. What's time to have, Monica?
1 minute.
1 minute? Fuck yeah. I think vampires are assholes. I think Dracula's an asshole. You know what I mean? Fucking bites people's necks and shit. What a cunt. Like, I know he has to fucking suck blood to live, but like, couldn't he just go after women on their periods? Like, why? Fair enough. Not my best joke. This is a better one. I graduated high school recently. Yeah, you guys remember Dare?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Dare. Those bunch of cuz. They're so fucking unsuccessful, I feel. I feel a little unsuccessful. Because if I was trying to scare kids off drugs, I wouldn't bring them to Dare, you know? You know where I'd bring them?
Where?
Any open mic in America. I think that'll do the trick. Not you, V, but others, you know. You've been to Magic Mouse, you know what I'm talking about. I'm out of time on. Alright, thank you very much. Bill Cosby's innocent. Thank you. One time, good night.
You need like 4 different outros. So it's December 30th, 2022. I'm in an Uber with Lenny, my cousin, and a ginger. A ginger who I said, I called him because I needed a minute. And I said, hey, like, you know, it's my birthday. Like, I need, like, for more than 5 minutes. Maybe, like, please don't leave. And he said a word. And so in my head, I'm like, this is the coolest fucking guy in the world, let alone for a ginger.
Yeah, you pretty
And
jumpy that time.
wait, let me tell it better than you. So, first of all, when people meet me, they already think I'm intoxicated. Like, sober, 11 years old, all the time. Are you high right now? I'm like, no. Just undiagnosed. But that night, so yeah, we went into Hollywood, whatever, and we saw these 4 guys. We were trying to get rid of our alcohol. We were going to the 18 plus club. So we're trying to get rid of it, and we see these, like, 4 young men, and looking back, yeah, like, if I was on the street and someone was like, do you want this alcohol? I would say no. But they're like, okay. And immediately, I felt like I was in a fucking Nature Channel thing. I, like, identified the leader, the loser, the cousin, the, you know, whatever, bouncer. And he was wearing pearls and a polo, and he just stood like he was annoyed to be there. He was like back in, like it was like it was peacocking but in a non-sexy manner. Hey, come on in. Sit whatever. Oh, hey, give it up for these guys. LA School of Comedy. It's a drug in and of itself, addictive. We're talking about my birthday because Lenny told a really bad story version of it. So it's these 4 guys, I see them on the street, I'm trying to get rid of my alcohol, we're going to the 18 plus club. Lenny's like, you're so drunk. I'm like, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess. And drunk. But so, the leader of the group had fake pearls on. Well, they were pearls. And the first time I go, are those even real? As if I own anything. Like, you know, I'm not like a Louis Vuitton, like, I'm not like, that's not me. Like, I work at the Beverly Center, but I'm for the people. It just bothered me. And I said this to him, fine, because I was, you know, like, when I'm drunk, like, already I say what I'm thinking, but it's like another level, you know, like the distance from head and mouth. That's so funny, head and mouth. But there's a joke there. But about, you know. So I say to him, I'm like, you're just wearing those to get pussy. Because of Harry Styles. And he surprisingly did not like that. But his friend was laughing. And we're fucking going back and forth. And I was like, I'm a comedian. And I think I invited them here. They never came. But then so my cousin was like talking to one of them, like trying to see like what their mutual friends were on Instagram. White. And so then I was talking to the other ones and I was like, okay, let me guess. So you're the one that takes pictures. You're the one that is sweet to the girls. And you're the one who didn't feel like saying no. To the plants, and I was just so shocked when they didn't like want to follow me, you know what I mean, or be like, you should be an influencer, because you don't understand, like I was walking down the street with my cousin just talking in West Hollywood. This is not fake. Well, not everything I say is pretty real up here, pretty real. And this guy was like, hey, do you guys have a podcast? You guys should have a podcast. Like, you seem like you'd be really good. I was like, so you were just listening like to my conversation for half a block? You fucking weirdo. But also like and subscribe. Give it up for fame, you guys. We're on our way there. We're famous on this block. Like, we're fucking famous. Like, you go to that 7-Eleven, like, we're famous. There's a really cool guy who works there, bald, tall, like, dude, whatever, nice guy, whatever. Shout out you. I think your name's Ken. No, is that true? No. Okay, I'm gonna bring up our next comic tonight. I fucking love this guy. When he's not here, it makes me sad. I'm glad he is here. Let's get some laughs with Shannon! Give it up for Shannon, everybody! The blue guy.
Yeah, baby. Woo. And on.
Yes, Shannon.
So the first license plate was probably pretty short, huh? Come on, guys.
That took me a second.
It had to be like one. That's it. Daimler Chrysler, one. Or Deutsch, befund. Oh, shit. Some lady, I assume because we're in this room together that a lot of us have or do work in the service industry. Okay. This lady was very vociferous, vigorous, if you will, about not having a pickle delivered with her burger. And I mean, it's separate, it's really not. But fine, I get it. I hate pickles too. I'm cool. Like, no problem. Yeah. But then when I brought her burger to her, she asked me if we had any relish. So I kicked her child in the face and strangled her dog right in front of her. And then I looked at her and said, "Do you know why I did this?" No, of course you don't. Because you don't know the difference between a pickle and fucking relish. You entitled fucking bastard. You person who just likes to order people around to do shit for you because, oh, I'm in a restaurant and I'm paying for it. So you do what the fuck I say when I say it. Bite your fucking toenails off, you crazy ass bitch. Oh, man. How do we get silent electric cars before silent electric leaf blowers?
Oh my god.
Right?
What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah. 'Cause we don't like Mexicans.
Come the fuck on! If we're going to do technology right, let's start out with the small stuff. You know? Work our way up to shit that can run me over in an alley when I go like, whoop! You know, because I didn't hear it coming. You know? Fucking Priuses. Oh, man. You guys know Target's getting sued? Yeah, Target's getting sued the fuck out of. because some maniac, I think it was actually here in LA, it might not have been, but I think it was, grabbed a butter knife and a spoon out of kitchen supplies and stabbed an 8-year-old and killed him, and stabbed the mom and almost, killed her, and then injured like 10 other people. And a spoon. And John Wick shit. But Target now is implementing store-wide across its entire place. That, like, when you walk into CVS and you want some condoms and you have to go like this, yo, somebody open the sex box for me, would ya? Please? I do that all the time. They love that shit too. They laugh their ass off. Come walking towards me. They're like, that's funny. Plus, anything that you can make methamphetamine out of, like derivatively, is now behind the counter.
Yeah.
Okay? So now Target's going to do that with all kitchen implements, or any implement, from chopsticks to what the fuck ever. Alright? However, I can still walk into a Target with a 9mm on my hip under my coat. Alright? But the fact is we gotta stop these random spoon deaths. You know what I mean? Like, how many more random acts of spoon violence are we going to put up with, people? How many more children have to die because I picked up a ladle in aisle 17? Okay? Yeah. We're all gonna die. You guys ever realize that almost every single state in Mexico is named after a drug cartel? It's like Sinaloa, Michoacan, Cali. Alright, you can go to Cabo Wabo. I understand that's tequila and it's run by an old white dude who used to be the front man for Van Halen. Either way, it's a drug. And maybe you're right. Maybe the states are named, the cartels are named after the states. But I do know this. Cocaine was there first.
Right.
Alright? It was there before anybody named that motherfucking state anything. Alright? So chicken and the egg, people. Where am I going with this? I wrote some new shit, I can't remember. Oh, I'm not guilty about turning down homeless people for shit. Though I am relatively generous, and also I know that I'm pretty homeless looking. Can I? I was in Port Orford, Oregon, which is just a little small town on the coast of Oregon. It's actually the farthest point west in the contiguous United States, just fun fact. And I was at 1 a.m. I went to grab a beer or something like that at the only place that's open. And as I'm walking back, and you gotta understand, this isn't the city, it is pitch fucking black and silent. Okay? Out of the woods, across the highway, this guy comes walking out right across the highway and goes like, "Hey man, can you crack my back?" And I went like this immediately. "No! Of course I will not crack your back. You stay 6 fucking feet away from me." Right at this moment. That is seriously one of the weirdest requests, maybe the weirdest request I have ever had asked to me at 1 a.m. in the morning in the middle of fucking nowhere in Oregon. Shit. Yeah, I could have definitely died from underlying conditions. I don't know. We all got underlying conditions, right? So, we all heard about it enough over the last 3 years, It's a big old argument. If you didn't have underlying conditions, it's just the fucking flu. However, what if your underlying conditions are narcissism? Alright. Just random bouts of ego. You know, maybe it's I don't know, delusions of grandeur. You know, these are underlying conditions that I think are possibly going to kill a lot of us. Definitely gonna kill me. Definitely. Got you. All right. Have a good time, kids.
I know, it's fine. Back to the room. Go.
Wow. We wanted more.
Oh, that's fun. I'll give more next time.
Give it up for Shannon, everybody. You all know that the first license plate was a personalized license plate. The first motherfucker to get cars to make number one was make suck my dick. Car much? Y'all can drive, but I can't. It was like this long. They had to make them shorter after the first one. That was great. Give it for Shannon one more time. That guy. Okay. I am very excited to see this next comedian. She's an absolute treat. I look up to this woman. Give it up for the only, the one, the very special Queen Bee, everybody.
Keep it going for Sam. You know, when you start out, you said people look at you and just want to run to the bathroom. That's me. I want to run to the bathroom and make my face prettier like yours. I need more glitter. More glitter. Have you guys heard the latest about Tiger Woods?
What?
No.
His girlfriend is suing him for $30 million.
Okay, yeah, she is.
Fuck that shit. Is there a hitman in the house? We need to bump her ass off. She's wrecking the dating ecosystem. Paydays are for people with marriage licenses. Am I correct? How dare her? Do you know how hard it is to have a marriage license? Married people make some noise. I rest my case. Just tell Tiger he needs to fix his skank hole problem. What, did she have 2 invisible babies somewhere that are worth her $30 million? Fuck the dumb shit. Who does she think she is? And I heard on the news. I was passing a TV and CNN was on. She won the first round. It's now in appeals. All because she said Tiger told her he would take care of her. Do you know how many people we all said we take care of? Do you know? And we did. We took care of them, didn't we? Some of us took care of them well, didn't we? Clap it up if you take care well. Y'all lying. Little golf claps. Y'all the people who show up and say, do me. There's a difference, people. It's called creativity. But Tiger better fix his skank hole problems. Because if Tiger pays her $30 million, it's gonna trickle down to our level. And you know what that means? Exactly. Donnell and Ronell are gonna be knocking on my door every 1st and 15th saying, V, give me my 50. How dare me be punished because I date beneath me? Dating beneath me is a punishment already. I don't need to be paying for it. So tell Tiger if y'all know him. Tiger! Fix your skank hole problem. Clap it up if you're old enough to remember Tiger's first skank hole debacle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tiger Woods was sleeping with 26 skank holes while married. It was a wild thing. Yes, see, they didn't know. Tiger lived long enough to get a reset. These people don't even know. They don't even know. And it was wild. It was long before Cosby had his 999 skank holes. It was Tiger who started the numbers gathering every week. There was 1, and then there was 2, and then there was a news story because the third skank hoe had the nerve to call the wifey and leave a message. You remember? Do you remember?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, hell yeah. And it was on the news because his SUV was parked out on the curb in front of his house with all the windows bashed out. They showed you Tiger. He was red and bruised and all messed up. And then they panned from the car to the middle of the street where there was a golf club. This is what I think happened. Wifey played the answering machine, which was by the door, because there were no cell phones and everybody had an answering machine right by the door because you walked in and said, "Who called me?" She heard the message, heard him pull up, walked out the door, but stopped because there's an umbrella rack right at the corner of the door with a 9-iron conveniently placed, and she grabbed it and we don't really know what happened. But one day she will write a tell-all. And you know what it's going to be titled. Yeah, I beat that N. He was my N. And I'll beat his ass again. If he pays that $30 million. Tiger, fix your skank hole problems. You guys kind of know me, so you know I'm an overachiever, right?
Woo!
I believe I can do anything while driving and never stop driving perfectly. I do. I believe I met my match 3 weeks ago when I had a cold. I found out while driving I cannot It's not as easy as it looks. My dad would all the time when I was a little girl. I sat in the back seat. I watched it fly out the window all the time. Men do it all the time. I was back there. Never once did I flinch thinking it was coming in the back seat. Never. Okay, so I got a call. I'm a lady. I never do that. You know, I always have napkins, tissues, something, or I stop at the light and open the door. You know, that's what we do. But I'm on the freeway. No napkins. Nothing to spit in. And I'm hacking up loogies. Because I'm sick. And I'm like, so I roll down the window and I'm like, I can do it. So I go to and I'm driving, and I didn't realize when you you need some little body action in it. So when I went to the body action made this arm turn the wheel, and I'm swerving on the shoulder. No lie, true story. By the time I got back on the freeway, I realized the had gone down this cheek onto the back of the seat. It was nasty. So while I'm trying to clean it all up, I'm and I gotta do it again. I'm like, I can do it. And it doesn't go far because the wind catches it and shoot. And I do it again. That mucus is pretty heavy, isn't it? Just bang back there. Was that my fake hair? I don't know. But seriously, this is a real story. And about 3 of those went back there. I know when I take the car to the car wash, the man's going to look at my back seat and go, this lady does not know how to spit out a window. And then I learned there are 3 ways to hack to. There's the there's the and there's the I was doing the I didn't have enough body motion in it. And then there's the I was thinking about doing that, but you see men do all the time. That's serious. The tongue muscles that they've been developing years after years to catapult loogies across the room. I knew I couldn't do that one, so I figured I'm going to try the I cough again. I roll down the window, and I go to and a truck flies by, and all this, because it was also raining, spray comes in the car. I'm like, oh no! And then I again, and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? So I'm like, I'm getting it out. So I go, and you guys, it went. I saw it. I'm driving, watching the road, but I'm watching my spit. It's floating towards the window, and then it's separated into 2 floop floops. And it was getting to the edge right at the window. I'm like, it's gonna make it. It's gonna make it. And then it glooped right down. I don't think it hit the cement. It's on the door. Does mucus ruin car paint? God, I hope not. But my exit was coming up, and I am an overachiever. So I had to do it. I had to hit the cement. I was determined. And of course, I was still coughing and hacking up loogies. So I got another one in there, and I'm like, here we go, girl. And I went, whoo, and a car flew by, and it flew into his window. I ought to be in a circus. I got serious tricks. But you guys, if you ever meet somebody who tells you about a loogie coming in their car, act like you don't know me. Do not bring up this story at all. At all. No. And I'm B. Thank you very much.
Give it up for V, everybody. Everybody is here for V. I was going to make a run with everybody in V. If men chewing has been secretly somehow developing, as you say, and I believe everything you say, their tongue muscles, then they have no excuse. You know, like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Even the quiet ones, you know, even if you're not talking that much, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who's ready for the next comic? Giving a good time? I am. It's a good night. Okay, Shannon's not going to see you, but we are going to see this next comic. Am I screaming? Oh. When you forget you're on stage and all of a sudden you just turn into a mom. I've been turning into a mom lately. When I ask, I'm always asking Lenny if he needs a sweater. Lenny is the most anti-chuckle fucking person in the world, but I feel like he's my work husband. You know what I mean? Like, after I said, I was like, we need to talk. Me and you. And my therapist. Give it up for Lenny, guys. Not anymore. Stop. Too much. Stop. Let's have 10 seconds of silence to make up for that. Who's gonna come on next comedian? Let's give it up for the one and only Kenzie, everybody! Come to the stage! I didn't even see that. Okay, Big Mage. The hat looks great backwards. I'm glad someone told you to do that.
Thanks. Your sage advice. Oh man, I got a tetanus shot Friday.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to dog fight, I'm in. Man, comedy's hard. Comedy's hard, isn't it? And so am I. Let's get it on. I'm just kidding. Y'all aren't my type. Not that you're unattractive or anything. It's just I need emotional intimacy to get there, and I just don't feel like we've made that connection quite yet. But maybe by the time I finish, we'll get there. You know, we'll definitely get there. I hope y'all. How's my posture? Guys, I hope y'all like me. I hope you think I'm funny. Most people meet me and they don't think I'm funny. They're just like, who is this beautiful idiot? You know? But then I say something profound and hysterical, like jizz, and boom, they're on my team. They're like, wow, this guy, he's actually pretty funny. He's got something. And then I follow it up with something even better, like jizz. And then boom, they're on my team and we're all friends from there. And they think I'm funny. So it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Y'all heard your host right. My name is Kenzie. Kind of like that cute girl, you know, who plays fast pitch. Except I'm not a cute girl, in case you were confused about that. I actually identify as a tough guy, which I've known ever since I was a young lad. You know, 11 months. I was 11 months old, and my older brother, he falls in front of me, scrapes his knee, starts crying, and I condescendingly called him a pansy. It was my first word, my very first word. My first memory, I was walking along active train tracks, wrangling snakes. They were garter snakes, but snakes nonetheless. And just recently, I got myself a jean jacket.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the cool kind. Yeah, it's Levi's. Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah. What else is tough about me? I'm training for a fight right now with my neighbor. Yeah, she keeps talking shit. You know, she told me I sing too loud. And I was like, yeah, but like, is it good though? And she was like, no, you suck. I was like, yeah, well, those Girl Scout cookies you sold me suck. And then she challenged me to a fight at midnight, so I gotta kick this Girl Scout's ass. You know, I'm gonna give her one of these, hit her a little judo chop, you know, sprinkle those stale cookies she sold me over her corpse. Bitch. Yeah. But yeah, I identify as a tough guy, but I'm viewed as an F-boy, which is not so bad, you know. We got an island with Nikki Glazer, so that's cool. Alright guys, I've been Kenzie. This is Last Comic Standing in Los Angeles. I'm out of here. Appreciate your time. Give it up for your host, Sam. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to do that for a tape. I'm not back. That's just like 4 minutes I'm working out. I just wanted to be able to like cut it properly, so I like walk out. Okay.
Great acting,
Alright, switching gears. You know, switching gears now. Switching gears, something I can't do unless it's an automatic. Y'all ever get horny when you're not supposed to? You know, like you're at a restaurant and the server, right? They like are cracking pepper just like a little too nice, right? So you try to combat those feelings, and you know you start to think about your grandma or something, but then you come. Just me. Just me. Okay. Whatever. We're working stuff out.
What was her name?
My grandma's name?
Oh, the
How dare you assume it was a her?
yeah, how dare me? What was his name? What was their name?
Is it a Hooters?
It's a made up story. It's a joke. Okay.
You should see the lady I had her.
Yeah, that is my grandma's favorite joke though. She made me tell it after every bath time. Okay, there's just a couple tags on top already. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. What I got? Like 3 minutes. Trace. Oh, okay, cool. All right, I'm probably gonna call it early. I like this posture, I suppose.
Closing in camera 2.
Yeah, give us a zoom in here. Left thigh.
If you do it faster, it's actually the stanky leg.
Yeah.
There we go. I know it's stanky leg when I see it.
That's all I got. That's all I got. See, I'm tough.
That's some real Excalibur shit right there.
The sword from the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, that asshole. He was always messing with me growing up. He would always make up stories just like for his own amusement, tell me fake stuff, and I would believe it because I was a kid. And kids are gullible, right? He told me we were related to King Arthur. And he was like dead ass about it. He was like, yeah, we're related to King Arthur lineage. He had a sword and everything, like a real sword. And I like believed it. I would tell kids at school that my whole life, like believing it, that I was a descendant of King Arthur.
What? Oh, fuck you too. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said something different.
Shut the fuck up. Be quiet, this is my time. Y'all like knock-knock jokes?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I don't do them. I'm like the cops. No knocking. I'm bursting in. These jokes are unwarranted. All right. Thanks for putting up with me, y'all. Let's get it on.
I identify as a stone cold cunt. But I'm perceived as a sweetheart. That's why I got these earrings to say bad bitch. My mom was like, I don't see you as a bad bitch. And I was like, that's the point, Mom. One time I told a therapist that I work at Bath & Body Works. She goes, no offense. Okay, girl. Trigger. What if I did that in real life? Trigger! That's how they describe the Gen Z. You know, they're like, trigger. Like, it's like, no, never in my life, in the wokest, the queer wokest, quokest of settings, have I ever seen someone go, trigger! You know, they just start cussing and crying, and because they're triggered. But, oh shit. So she said, no offense, but I would have thought you'd work at like Hot Topic or something. And I was like, at least give me a Spencer's Gifts. Like, at least give me I could sell a vibrator, you know what I'm saying? Okay, last thing. We should sell a vibrator that looks like a gun, and you pull the trigger and you shoot your clit. Don't you think America needs that? You know, just like more, just like full body firearm, like on fire for firearms. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as women start loving guns, men will stop. We're so worried about robots stealing our jobs. Vibrators have the corner of the female orgasm market for years. You know, when they invented the vibrator because they thought it would like cure like female hysteria, they created a whole fucking new problem for themselves. Because, yeah. And here's the thing. A woman needs to pre-game an orgasm. Self-induced or not. You know, I'm not talking about, okay, the pussy wax and the woman's waxing procedure. You waited too long this time. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I pay your bills. That's how you're choosing to pay your bills, you fucking low-class gynecologist. So, you do that, or you have to fucking charge something ahead of time. Could you imagine, guys, if every time you wanted to jerk off, you would have to, I guess not. I guess if you're not lazy. I'm so dead. That is such a reveal. Anyways, that sucks, though. It's like its own charger. It's not a Samsung charger. It's not an Apple charger. You see it, everyone's like, what is that? Anyways, my sister's getting a leopard gecko. Isn't that cool? Give it up for that. I think it might be crested. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring up,
Did the vibrators cure the hysteria?
I might have made it worse. I don't know. Well, because wasn't hysteria just women having feelings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Created bigger ones, better ones, maybe. Hysterical, maybe. That's crazy. Let's talk about the female orgasm. It's not real. It is not real. Okay, guys, give it up for the G-spot. Gardenia. Okay. So, like, is that a place? My favorite part of SoCal is you can say a street or a city and you'll get a laugh. You know what I mean? Like Tarzana, why would we go there when we're in the city? Who goes to the valley? Traffic. Oh, traffic in the fucking most traffic city in the world that you chose to live in for your fucking dream. That's a fucking, go stay asleep. I'm gonna bring up one of my favorite comedians in the world. He has taken me under his wing. And that is not a joke about age and flappy arms. I love this man. Let's give it up for the one and only Patty! And I have that shirt.
Give it up for Sam. Come on. All of you. Let's produce some energy, baby. Come on. Wow, I'm here on behalf of cliteracy for all young men. Cliteracy, I was around when the clitoris was originally discovered. It was 1977.
Yeah, it was. The year I graduated high school.
And it was a glorious year for you, I suppose. We, up till 1977, the female orgasm for most men we felt a lot like it, the way that Kanye West feels about the Holocaust. We're like, maybe. maybe. I don't know if does that really exist? I don't know. And here's my advice for all the men here. It will help you women too, but this is for the men. If you do find a woman's G-spot, make a little mark there. It makes it easier for the next time. You know the difference between a golf ball and a G-spot? A man will never stop looking for a golf ball. I'm in a dilemma because my wife is in Italy, and I get into trouble when my wife is. I've been in the custody of a woman my entire life, and with good reason. I get into fucking trouble, and there were some gummy bears in the pantry, gummy worms. They were gummy worms, and I ate them. And my wife called me from Italy, and she rang. She goes, "Oh, what are you chewing on?" I said, "Well, these gummy worms that were." She goes, "Oh my God, don't eat those! Those are Khloe Kardashian vagina wellness gummy worms." First of all, the idea of worms and vagina both at the same time, it's not enticing, it's not an appetizing thought. And they were delicious. I did stop eating them, but I noticed when I came here tonight, I could not parallel park. I could have to get a fucking parking space over there. I could not, it was beyond me. I want to speak out about something, and maybe you guys are with me, maybe you're not. But you know, it seems to me that gun control is a no-no, yet vagina regulation is off the hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of regulations on a vagina, and people seem to be fine with it, but with guns, not so much. Like, if a gun functions properly, its purpose is to kill. If a vagina functions properly, it brings life, right? There's no such thing as an assault vagina. Although I'd like to try one. I would try one. That sounds fucking hot, doesn't it? Bring out your assault vagina. But you know, an assault vagina could only kill one baby at a time. An assault rifle with 100 clip shot, you can wipe out a whole bunch of fucking people, is what I'm saying. And also, like, I know guys, and there are girls too, that they just love playing with guns. You know, it's a big deal. Oh, this gun and that gun, and it becomes kind of fucking horny and sexy. You know what I mean? Like that. And I have played with guns. I've shot guns, but it's much more fun to play with a vagina. I'm just gonna tell you, way more fun. Yeah, when I was 16, I had 3 Catholic girls pregnant at the same time. 3 at the same time. And, they're Catholic, they're very pro-life until I knocked them up. Then they were very pro-choice. Extremely fucking pro-choice. And I said, oh no! I'm not being saddled with that. Lay off Tiger Woods, for Christ's sake. Give Tiger Woods a break. People say that. Fucking Tiger Woods, he just couldn't keep it in his pants. You know what? He was a man. He's a man. I don't know how I would react, because like me, I don't... First of all, when you talk about by the way, a round of applause for America's own hot idiot, Kenzie. Nobody does a hot idiot like you. I mean, it's fabulous, your portrayal of a hot idiot. Because he's hot, am I right? He's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Tiger, for the average man, we're just flesh and blood, and we're hardwired to just fuck as much as to get our seed into the next generation. It's the way God made us. So, I mean, I don't know, Tiger Woods, he was married, I know, to that big Viking woman. She was about 6'2", beat the shit out of him. She beat the fucking shit out of him.
She did.
But you know, I don't know how I would react if the Swedish bikini team was waiting for me on the 19th hole.
Right.
Every fucking time I played, I think I might fuck up and take advantage of it. What can I tell you? But for me now, here's what's pleasant is, you know, I'll be 60 in May, and that's okay. I didn't do much. I just kind of hung around too long, I guess. So you know, I have a urologist, which you know you'll get if you live long enough. A urologist, and the erections of yesteryear, you know, those kind of spontaneous for no reason erections. Appreciate them. Appreciate them. Because there will come a time when you're shooting pool with a rope.
Wow.
And you will occasionally get one of those that you're like, oh, that's what it used to be like. There you are, my old friend.
Right.
My God, it's still fucking possible. You were talking about a spooning. I was the victim of a drive-by spooning in West Hollywood. I was hanging around, you know. I got my ass grabbed in the Target there in West Hollywood. We're having dinner on Saturday. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I know what to tell you. I'm going to give you my story, how I came to love. Would you like to hear that? Okay, now to look at me now, you wouldn't think so. Well, I was once a hot idiot myself. I was once fucking, you know, I was a frisky dude. You know, I was a heartthrob. Now I'm a fucking coronary. I was actually flown out here by ABC to audition for General Hospital, which was a big soap opera. And the part I was supposed to play, the character's name was Blackie, which you couldn't do now. You couldn't do now. It would not. And I went and I read for network, and I got a call from my manager, who said, "Oh, it's down to you and two other guys. The casting director, Gary, wants you to go to Palm Springs with him for the weekend to give you some pointers." Yeah, you gotta realize I was catnip to gay men, which is the closest thing to hot girl privilege a guy can ever have. It's the closest as it gets. And I said no. I said I won't go. I'm not gonna go. So I'm just gonna let you know. Fuck John Stamos. He got my part because he went. He went. He went. He went. He went to Palm Springs for a weekend. So would you like to thank me for Uncle Jesse? There would have been no fucking Uncle Jesse. Without fucking me, baby. Yeah.
Love John Stamos.
Yeah. So did the casting director. This is the part, I don't know if you know, in my act I have a part where you all just look at me and feel a little bit better about yourselves. I can drink it in. Drink it in. All of it, it's me, baby. It's me. All right, that's the part. It's over now. You can, the assault vagina, we'll get back to that. Because for me, the word vagina is too much. Vagina! It's kind of an assault to it. Vagina! You know what I mean? It's kind of, every time I hear the word vagina, I hear linoleum. Because it's a very cold antiseptic word for a warm, wonderful place to hang out. I prefer pussy. Pussy. None of my friends ever called me up on a Saturday night and said, "Hey, Patty, let's go out and get some vagina." I said, "Fuck that, let's get some pussy." Let's get some pussy. Pussy, just say it with me. Pussy, 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 pussy. Wonderful. It just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it? if done correctly. I also like the term genitalia.
Yeah.
Isn't that a pretty word, genitalia? Genitalia. I've got a granddaughter due in late May.
Yeah.
I think we might name her Genitalia Tony. That's beautiful. It's a very beautiful name. Well, once again, you guys have been actually, tonight you've been pretty good. Normally you're mediocre, but I want to thank you for indulging me. You can give me some love at this point. You've been wonderful. You've been fantastic. And may you all be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. I'm Patty, P-A-D-D-Y-F-O-R-C-O-M-E-D-Y. Good night. Give it up for Sam, baby.
Good for Patty, everybody. Son of a fucking nutcracker. I have 2 elf shirts and not one Christmas under my belt. I don't know, vagina. It takes a lot of effort. You gotta work for it. It can't just be pretty right up front. You gotta earn it. You gotta want the vagina. Whatever name, look, you know what I'm saying? Don't make it too easy. But it's too quick. Vagina. So you gotta commit. Vagina. No, I just wanted to come up and say vagina a lot, and you gave me an excuse. One time, okay, this is one thing. One time I went to the doctor, I was 6 years old, and she was looking all around. And I was like, "Are you sure I'm not a boy?" She was like, "Wow." I was like, "This shit's ugly." I didn't say shit, but I was like, I thought it was supposed to be a pink flower, you know what I'm saying? That's misogyny, but that's so sad. My doctor was so lame, always asking me if I did my homework. I'm not a doctor. Okay, I get it. But somebody else in this room could be a fucking doctor. And I'm gonna bring her up. She's a doctor at last. She's our producer tonight. Give it up for Monica, everybody. She flew in tonight just for this. Queen. Monica.
Are the people who make erectile dysfunction pills orgasmic chemists? They say LA is like a box of chocolates, overpriced, kind of nuts, mostly brown. Anyways, do you mind if I go deep into this set? I'm not talking dermatologist deep. I'm talking colonoscopist deep. I just want to ask for your permission to go there in these next 10 minutes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I've been in LA for almost 4 months, and thank you. I could have said any date and you would have applauded. I could have said this is actually my first time doing stand-up here, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm kidding. I'm originally from the suburbs of Illinois, one of those places where your best childhood memories were spent in department stores. When you grow up in the suburbs, you're very sheltered, kind of protected from a lot of things. That's why they call them condominiums. Coming to LA was full of surprises for me. I remember growing up, my favorite color was seafoam green, the Crayola crayon. I came to LA and I realized seafoam is white. Something else that surprised me a lot about LA was vaping, which was just something that not as many people did where I go to school. So when I came here and saw all these USC students, I was like, whoa, you guys got some cool looking kazoos. Why does your AirPods case have a blowhole in it? It smells like someone farted in a Kool-Aid bottle. In my classes, I've had the privilege of getting to visit a lot of really cool communities in LA, like Koreatown, Thai Town, Chinatown, Little Tokyo, USC Village, and getting to meet a lot of really cool people doing service work for those communities. And it's made me think a lot about my own life, because I'm Indian, as you can tell by my personality, and but I was never really I didn't find the cultural center for Indians in my community until I was about 9 years old. It was called the Public School Gifted Program. The only nonprofit I was ever involved in was Hinduism. Up until then, the only Indian men I ever talked to outside my family was from reacting to comments on Quora. this semester, a lot of people have been asking me why am I here. Great question, honestly. I was at Cantor's about a month ago, and I was wearing a Duke shirt. I go to Duke, for any of you who don't know. All of you know. I was wearing a Duke shirt, and I mentioned briefly in my set that I go to Duke. And the guy after me, he went on stage, and before he even started his set, he just pointed right at me and was like, "Why are you here?" Like he was a personally attacked by my presence, and I'm like, "You're just going into your time, you know." Just like, anyways, you bought a whole sandwich for this. But why am I here? Why are any of us here? Why are any of us doing this? And you know, I was in a bad place last semester, the American South. I was turning into the person of my worst nightmare, pre-med. And last semester was when I did comedy for the first time, and I found the thing that I really loved. Attention. Because comedy teaches you to be like a shitty computer, because when you feel like you're gonna die, you find this outlet. And you're getting charged constantly. Please see me and pay after the show if you haven't already. Oh, sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. I never do this.
She's human.
I never do this. Oh yes. I'm here because I want to do comedy, and I love working here. Thank you. Give it up for this place. Give it up for Sunda, who isn't here, but will be very soon. And we've talked about a lot of great stuff in this place, like gun vibrators and fucking midgets and assault vaginas, just the things that people love talking about. And one thing that I really don't like when people do here is when they say that stand-up comedy is my therapy, or that this is the same as therapy. I get it. 10 minutes can save you 100% or more on your health insurance. But this is not the same as therapy, okay? This is not the same as therapy, because in therapy, the drugs are legal. In stand-up comedy, you're reading off the thing in your phone. In therapy, the thing in your phone's reading off you. And as an ex-pre-med, as someone who left the group chat, I also don't like it when people say that laughter is the best medicine. Like, laughter is not the best medicine. If laughter was the best medicine, comedians would not have to self-medicate. Some people reacted more viscerally to that statement than others. Because what we're doing here is hard. You are creating content for consumption with the hopes of eviscerating a diaphragmatic esophageal reaction from strangers. We're basically Taco Bell. But with more beef. And it's really beautiful what we're doing, because we're pursuing the chance of being something that so many people don't get to be. Interesting. Sorry. But yeah, people ask me why I'm here, and I'm here because I want to do comedy, but I don't want to do comedy because I want to be something in this world. I want to do comedy because I'm scared of being in it. I think it's easier for me to step on this little stage and build my little platform than to actually go fix the real problems in the world. Sorry. Like, you know, and in my classes at USC, I've gotten to talk a lot about a lot of very real issues that affect the city, a lot of issues that I was very ignorant to. Like, for me, redlining was what I used to do to grade tests at Kumon. And, you know, like, my class, we visited a homeless shelter for USC students, because 17% of USC students can't afford housing. The University of Spoiled Children. That's what this place is called. Sorry, I'm not this. Anyways, this is an open mic. Thanks, guys. You know, I've been followed, I've been verbally harassed, I've been catcalled as a man. which was really awkward. This 13-year-old skater boy look doesn't just make itself. Yeah, I came to LA very naive, and that's kind of the reality that it's been. And like shit, I don't have the confidence to stand up for what's right. I barely have the confidence to write stand up, as you can see here. And stand up can be a pretty fucked up place too. You know, as the more you get into it. And I look like this with my 13-year-old skater boy look. And a lot of the times I've got from a lot of bigger people in comedy, I've received my token of appreciation by being appreciated as a token. Wordplay. Anyways, there was one time I was at this new comedy club, and they knew it was my first time and recognized I was new. I was like the only woman there and the only woman of color there. And this guy goes on stage and he's talking about fucking a homeless person. Why is that so common in these comedy clubs? Anyways, he was talking about wanting to fuck a homeless person. And he was like, and I was sitting in the front row, and he was like, maybe my dick is just too big. And then he leans out to give me a high five. And I don't know what was more disgusting in that situation. The fact that he thought that was okay to do, or the fact that I high-fived him. And you know, I realized in that moment, I can't change, you know, a racist, patriarchal, misogynistic system and the way that it affects comedy and the arts. But I can take the biggest shit in your toilet, in your comedy club, and not flush. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Oh, I'm on Instagram at Monica Noreen. That's Monica_Noreen_. And I'm usually sitting in that chair. See ya.
Everybody! She produces that, she produces comedy, and she produces some massive shit! Don't we all? One time me and Monica...
Instagram bio.
Massive, should you? You don't have to quote me, it's fine. One time me and Monica were at this, like, it was my first time going, like, a women's only mic. And I guess the other mic was ending, because I was like, I don't think that's a woman. Yeah, and this guy, this black guy, he's talking about, like, breaking up with somebody, and he was like, fuck that, like, it was like, cunt, ass, something, 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 N-word. And he goes, everybody say it, right? And so, one white lady, like, in the back, just says it full volume. And she goes, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry. Starts turning the fucking non-binary person next to her, like, that was fine, right? Like a white person, like, I'm like, first of all,
He told us to say it.
He shouldn't have said it if I couldn't say it. I got into this is the last thing I'm going to say. I got into a verbal argument with my British family friend, white, British, about the N-word. I'm like, listen, dude, no matter what you do, it's not going to sound right coming out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing this with me? I was so good, though, you guys. I didn't even get into any of it. He would just talk, and I sat, and I go, well, that's your opinion. That'll fuck somebody up. When you listen, and you don't lose your shit, and you go, well, yeah, that's a really interesting opinion. I don't even say I have a different one. He goes, oh, how is it an opinion if it's a fact? Oh, it doesn't know different if it's with an A or an ER. I said, well, I feel like if it was facts, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Dude. I needed to do that. Imagine just, like, dude, you guys have done enough to us. Like, I don't know, the British. Whatever. I like them. So, I don't know. Like, it's on my bucket list. Okay, so, let's bring up our next comedian. She fucks shit up. She's a great friend. I'm from Liverpool. Okay. She has to have a proper introduction. No, I'll wait. No, speak your mind. But not on my time. I don't care what you say anymore. No one stand-up's that good. And why are you talking right now anyway? The show's almost over, so don't be a fucking hoe And Monica made me sad right away.
I'm sorry.
I am going to bring up a fantastic comedian who deserves the best introduction. She's kind, she's hilarious, she's dark, she's bright, she's everything you're about to see. That was too much, I know, but I'm really excited to see her. Give it up for Charlotte, everybody! Fuck it!
Hi guys. Just have a short little set tonight. But who's talking about Fuckboy Island? I forget. Kenzie? I have a friend who's actually on that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wait, did anyone watch it? Okay, well his name's Wukosh. He has like blonde hair and he's like 6'5" and a fuckboy. He is very well fit for the show. He actually is a really bad person, like not like he's like, I don't know, he's not that old. But he goes for all these like freshman girls and then he posts on his Instagram like their full name and rates their sex, like their hookup. Yeah, it's like really fucked up. Like these girls like just got to college, thank God not that I know of, not freshman high schoolers. But I wouldn't put it past him. He's really weird. Yeah, that's my story on Wukosh. I need to get better at telling stories. So I'll open on something fun. I forget how this joke goes. I think like semicolon tattoos, they're a sign of when someone survived a suicide attempt. But I don't understand why you would get a tattoo of something that you failed at. I told my ex that my love language was receiving gifts, so he gave me PTSD. My ex also like made fun of how small my titties are, but that's coming from someone with literally no tits. Like he has no room to talk. My therapist thinks I have an eating disorder, but I don't even eat. My mom always accused me of being mentally ill for attention, but that's just such a lie because I'm gay for attention. Growing up in the gymnastics community matured me so much, physically, emotionally, and sexually. My teammates and I were very strong because the coaches conditioned us not to speak up. And that's why they call it USA Gymnastics, because you get sexually assaulted. It's funny because I like my gymnastics friends, like none of my friends outside of here know I do stand-up, but sometimes I wonder what my gymnastics friends would think of it. They don't probably relate, but unfortunately.
I used to have a lot of friends that did gymnastics.
Oh my god!
Well, I'll see them in therapy.
Oh, yes, you will.
Alright, I know this is kind of fast, but I haven't really written much lately, so I'm gonna come back with more.
What about the
No,
piercing?
do some impromptu stuff.
Yeah. Talk about piercings
Yeah.
or
What you
something.
been up to?
The semester.
It just started. I just started a new semester. I hate my roommate. I hate her so much. Oh, also, like, I got a sunburn today, and there's, like, a line on my leg. I don't know why. Do you see? I don't know why there's a line. There's also one on this leg. So that's a little weird. Did anyone watch SNL this weekend?
Yeah.
It's so good with Molly Shannon.
I love Molly.
I adore her. She's so funny. I was so happy they brought back Sally O'Malley. She's... Yes! Amazing. So good.
Go off.
Go off.
Do something crazy.
My girlfriend got her titties pierced.
Come on.
Pierced titties taste like house keys. And there's no place like home, baby.
Hey, do you have that other piercing joke?
Piercing joke.
You have that other piercing joke.
What about assault
Told-
kitties?
Yeah. Lesbians love piercings.
Oh yeah.
When you're with your piercings, I like from the back thought you were like wearing AirPods. And
I get that. Yeah, no, I get that a lot. So
do your AirPods does it block your AirPods when you wear AirPods? Like,
not really. The one like on the inside a little bit, but not too much.
You one on the inside?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Like a cochlear piercing? Like what the fuck?
How to describe? Yeah.
It looks like you might actually get AM radio.
Probably.
Right near the optical.
It's funny because the joke of yours that Lenny is thinking about, you said while we were hanging out, and I texted it to Lenny because I thought it was funny. Is what's happening. I know it's in my text. Like it's a joke that it's out there. It's something like, no, I don't want to say it because it's your joke. We'll talk later. It's a good joke though, and that joke's ready. Give it up for Charlotte, everybody! She's fucking killer. Do it all. She can write, she can do comedy, and she can actually probably get a real job out there, not like us. She'll do flips and shit in the office, like, you know. Dude, talk about a fun, like, water cooler moment with Charlotte in the office. If Charlotte working at Bath & Body Works, my life would be better. We are down to the last two comics of the night. Oh, I'm so glad they're here! I love them both. Give it up for both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
It's hard to choose who to put up first, because I love you both so much. But I decided to bring up the comedy of Colin! No, imagine. Kill it!
Yeah. Double shot of Charlotte.
I don't have a lot prepared, just kind of new, but I don't be short like Charlotte. That was awesome. All you kids are great.
Here we go.
Patty, you look like a 12-year-old. You're technically a kid.
Stop.
I think I like that.
Was that a compliment?
A red hat, and I have to put this way down for the tiny people. Put it at gnome level.
Stop. Don't tighten it too tight now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, I was going to say to Shannon, he said about the guy who came out of the street and was like, "Well, you cracked my back." That was me. That was me. He was weird about it. He made it weird. And also the lady left who spit out her window, went into my car. That was me. I have an Easter joke.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. It's terrible. Why does Jesus hate M&Ms?
Why?
Because they keep falling through the holes in his hands.
Ayo.
Again, I was born on Christmas, so I can tell that. I'm the only one. Just me. Let's see here. Oh, guns. You guys were talking about how to get rid of guns. This isn't even really a joke. I just think it's a great idea. If you want people to trade in their guns, literally, I would just say give them an iPhone. Or a PlayStation 5. There'd be no guns left in America.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Every single person. Dogs. People adopt dogs because they're like, I want a best friend. I want to, he understands me. Dogs are kind of also, though, just like yes men. Like a dog's never going to disagree with you. Dog's never be like, we should not eat more chicken. You're gaining a lot of weight. Chicken or the egg? Was that you, Kenzie, who brought up? Somebody did? I always think... Sam, you brought up chicken or the egg? Dinosaurs laid eggs, so I think always the egg came first, right? Because dinosaurs came for chicken.
Oh.
Salt.
I was... I'll do it.
I don't have much. Let's see here. OBGYN. So what you guys were talking about? I kind of wondered at what age is it like creepy that a kid says they want to do that?
Oh my god.
It's like you're like a little kid, like 4 or 5. What do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor? What kind? OBGYN. You'd be like, whoa. I don't know what the scale is there. It's acceptable socially. I thought this is true. Lesbian meant police officer for some reason. When I was like 6 or 7, I'd seen like a news story, and then I just conflated the term. So every time I saw cop, I'd be like lesbian, man or woman. I would say I want to be a lesbian. People would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? The more my parents would be like, don't say that. It makes you want to say my secret, my truth. I'm gonna be a lesbian. I would have been a terrible lesbian and a terrible police officer. True story, I was in Portland, in Oregon, Tigard. It was like a suburb, whatever, in the middle of nowhere outside of Portland. They had a police explorer program. And my favorite movie was Die Hard as a kid. I was a total pothead, though, and just like chain-smoking, weirdo 14-year-old, but they hired me. But it was so boring. It was the first time I learned to fall asleep with my eyes open when it was a terrible time to learn to do it. There's like, before you run into buildings that are on fire, there's like these diamond signs outside with like the chemistry of what's inside. It was so boring. There's a reality show I was thinking of. You call it Starstruck. Parents or people, spouses who've abandoned their families or loved ones, been like, I'm going to go out and get a pack of cigarettes, a carton of milk, whatever. They come back 30 years later to ask a series of trivia questions. Be like, Lisa, I abandoned you 20 years ago to get a carton of milk and cigarettes. I'm now back in your life to ask you a series of 3 trivia questions. If you get them right, you get 10 grand. If you get them wrong, you disappear with the money. We just call it Starstruck. Great show. What? The end of civilization. Uber Eats delivery. That's like my job I do on the side. After this, I'm gonna do crowd work. I'm keeping more terrible. My first time, I'm excited. But yeah, I do Uber Eats delivery on my motorcycle. So motorcycle part's super fun. I don't even have a ton of jokes in here yet. But lately in the morning, this is kind of creepy. I go to CVS and I pick up everyone's. This is so gross to even say. Plan Bs, and then I just drive them around. It's so weird. It's just like, here you go, and I just chuck them off my motorcycle like I'm the opposite of the stork. I'm a conservative's worst nightmare. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Make like $60 a morning, just keep the population down. And then the other one is people now write the longest instructions when you go to drop off their Uber Eats delivery. Like, take a right, dude. Just come fucking down outside. Like, are we that lazy as a society and a civilization? I know your apartment costs more than my yearly salary, but you can walk outside to get your $40 hamburger. Because I'm just going to chuck it at the front door of your building anyways. I'm just like, dude, this is, yeah. Yeah, crowd work. I'm gonna try crowd work here. Yeah. A topic? Is that crowd work? Should I do it?
Yeah.
A topic. Give me a topic.
Pornhub.
Assault vaginas.
Pornhub and assault vaginas. Can I say?
Well, that's a category.
Yeah, that's like a whole.
The Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama. Yeah. That's a whole. Whew. Jeez, I don't even know where to begin.
Maybe like robots.
What do you think?
Robots.
Alligators.
Alligators.
Oh, Steve Irwin.
My mind, Steve Irwin.
What do you think of those like crosswalks that are like a whole
Wait, you
square
should talk
instead
about
of
your
one
tattoos.
Oh my god.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch. I love them. I think they're great. I got my first one when I was 15.
Woo.
Yeah, it was middle of nowhere, Portland. Someone was Shannon was talking about Oregon. It was just middle of nowhere. It was camping. It was like, I'll just see if they'll give me one. They said yes. I'm still trying to think about Pornhub and the other sex thing he said. But I love them. Then I got like an armband when I was like 18, like a tribal kind of armband. And then I just wasn't into the styles of tattoos. Everything was just super tribal. I grew up in like the Northwest, and I was just like, there's only like one armband is enough. It was like crazy tribal stuff. And so once that died out, I used to do corporate stuff, left, went home to Oregon just to live and be normal, hang out with my dog. And it was like, I'll start to get more tattoos now. I'm like doing corporate stuff. And then the world just ended, like COVID. And so once a week, the only things that were open in Portland were tattoo stores. And so every week or two, I would just go get another one.
Oh my god.
It was the best thing ever. I had the Biden checks where I was getting money, and I would just get a tattoo, and then I would just sit there for 2 weeks and heal. And just, I don't know, like all here. It was so great. I feel so bad because I'm a science nerd, so I saw it coming. It was like I got ready. I sold my car. I got the checks. I was like November. I was like, everyone's gonna die. I'm gonna be prepared. I had this great little place on top of the hill, and just got tattoos and watched the world burn. Yeah,
Oh my god.
sorry, I don't have jokes, but no. Another topic. How much time do I have left?
2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Gardens. No.
Flatulence?
Gardens. Are there gardens on Pornhub? I don't know if that's a
Absolutely.
naked gardening. Could be a,
Is that one video?
I was getting poison ivy after 6.
or poison ivy.
That's happened to me.
What,
You guys are terrible.
what's the
at
most
topics.
painful tattoo you've ever got? Which one hurt the most?
On my chest. If I didn't have so many layers on it, I would show you. It's so awesome. It's like a black and white Siberian tiger.
You gotta show us.
I don't know if I can pull it up.
Oh, very sharp.
7.5, like
Oh my god.
and it hurt like here in the middle. It hurts. Yeah, the pain was unimaginable, and it just everything seems like time slows down. It seems like he just kept being over and over like. And I was in shock. I like got home. And I just like my whole body like started to vibrate. It was awesome. And then I just puked. And then I just laid down on the ground. And I slept there for like 3 hours. And I woke up and I went to the bathroom. It was so rad. And I took off the whatever thing they put on. It's like the something derm or whatever. It's this clear thing. I couldn't remember leave it on or off, whatever. I was just so out of it. I went to the bathroom and I was just like, "Bleh," and I took it off. And the smell, there was so much blood. It smelled like nickel or something, the smell of blood, and it was so overpowering. I just puked again into the sink. But it was rad. And then I just went and just laid for like down for 2 weeks in like my chair, whatever, this chair I had. And yeah, it was chill. It was like in the woods or whatever. Yeah.
Do any of your tattoos have like a mistake or misspelling on them?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know if I have any real words.
Check real quick.
I don't think I have any words or letters. Yeah. As I get older, I'll get my head. Like that's like when I'm like 50s, 60s. But it'll hurt so bad. I have one like kind of right there. But yeah, sure, let's be like this. But yeah, I highly recommend them. Tattoos are the best. There's no downside.
There's no downside.
Yeah, that was the weirdest set ever. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
I forgot to say is that you?
Thank you.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Okay, give it up for Colin.
All right.
I'm so glad that you came here. You keep coming back. I love seeing you perform and your growth, and yeah, I love the crowd work.
So much less nervous on stage.
Yeah. Okay. Period.
Woo!
Usually we're a really intimidating audience.
I'm because
Okay, wait, what was I going to say? Something silly about tattoos. One time I called the Jewish cemetery that my family's buried at. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to know, like, is it true that if I get a tattoo I can't be buried here? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, bitch, I'm going to steal your fucking job. And then I was like, while I'm here, can I check if so-and-so... I'm trying, because I wasn't sure who was where. I felt like visiting the guy I was named after. And she's like, I can't reveal that to you. I was like, you have HIPAA when you're fucking dead? I've been in so many HIPAA mistakes lately, and it's like the world just like wants everyone to know my name. Let's bring up tonight's headliner. Her lipstick looks fantastic with her sweater. I love this one. Let's give it up for Lana, everybody. This is
Hi, everybody. I wasn't really planning on doing anything because I didn't really do much, but I Patty, you inspired me because I want to say you've been talking to my ex-boyfriend, haven't you? Because I haven't heard assault vagina since. And he was Austrian, so that was pretty. We were definitely the Austrian, the Palestinian couple when we would travel together. That was always interesting. But definitely, yes, Austrians are racist, just to be clear. But yeah, somebody was talking about Dalai Lama. Have you guys heard about what's happened with the Dalai Lama? I'm sad. This is sad because I appreciated a lot of things about Buddhism and the Dalai Lama. And I guess there was a video that emerged of the Dalai Lama kissing a young boy on the lips and then asking that same boy to suck on his tongue. Which we can all first agree now is completely inappropriate, right? Like, I don't care if you're 87 years old, sir. Okay, that's not appropriate. But also, like, what's left? Like, first the Catholics, now the Buddhists. Like, where are we supposed to go with our suffering? Like, I am so confused now, And then, like, was it like when Brad Pitt went to Dharamsala to like do 7 years in Tibet? was the Dalai Lama walking out like confused, like, what's going on here? And going, oh no, I said we need more 7-year-olds in Tibet. Okay? I think you guys misunderstood my intention here. There's nobody up here. We need to get more kids in here, you know? But I feel bad. I mean, I really thought Buddhism was it. You know, after Islam, I was like, I gotta find something else, right? So I thought it'd be the Buddhists. And I spent a lot of time, you know, like trying to get my suffering out, meditating, and now I come to find out they just want kids too. Like, this is like an existential crisis. Like, I'm lost. I mean, I woke up to the news like, the fuck? Like, I was in silence for 11 days in Bali doing Buddhist meditation with a monk and the Dalai Lama sucking tongue with a 7-year-old. This shit's like 11 days in fucking silence, right? Just to find out that the monks are fucking sucking face with kids. I wish I would have spoke. I should have spoke on day 3. Fuck that shit. I was like committed to noble silence because the monk was like, you know, the monk made me think that I had something, you know, to aspire to. And every other day after we would do our 2 days of noble silence, we'd meet with the monk and be like, hey, you know, and he'd say, how's your meditation? How's it going? I'm angry. Please go and continue your meditation. Okay, day 4. How's your meditation? Honestly, I'm still angry. Don't worry. Please go and continue your Vipassana, which is the name of the meditation. So on day 6, I go in and I'm like, if this motherfucker does not give me something good, I'm walking out of this place. I didn't even know where I was, to be honest. They took my phone, they took all my belongings, but I was leaving, okay? And on day 6, I go to the monk, and he looks at me and he says, how is your meditation going? And I said, honestly, I'm still angry. And he says, the Buddha once said that anger is like somebody throwing a ball of fire at you. And instead of getting out of the way, you sit there and you catch it. And now you're burning yourself with this ball of fire. Now, why would you do that? At the time, it was the most compelling thing I'd ever heard. It made total sense to me. And I was cured of my anger for a short period of time. But now I think about it, and this idea of holding a ball of fire in your hands and getting burned by it kind of is just making me feel like it's the Dalai Lama sucking on that tongue getting like I was like, the Buddha should have told the Dalai Lama not to suck on that tongue. But they were telling me like, no, just don't hold the ball of fire. I'm like, I wouldn't have been canceled for my anger, but now the Dalai Lama's canceled. So there's that. And because of my anger, I have been in therapy. You know, there's no such thing as an angry Palestinian, right? But I've been in therapy, and at $200 a week, that shit is fucking expensive. And, you know, I have a dog, I rescued a dog, and I trained that dog to be my therapy dog. Because that's what you do, right? You just teach the dog how to treat you. So, because I couldn't teach a man, so I taught the dog. But I teach my dog, and then now I run into a situation where it's like, oh shit, this therapy is way too expensive. I cannot afford it. I cannot keep going. So I stopped. I stopped going to therapy, and I just thought, you know, I'll just read books and you know, dance in the rain, whatever shit people do to like deal with depression. And my dog just fucking was done with me, couldn't take it anymore. And he just looked at me and said, listen, I'm putting in my 2 weeks, okay, because this is a 2-man job minimum. I don't know where the fuck you thought you could get off here with one dog and no therapist. So either get another dog or another therapist. But my dog is done with my shit. His name is Coco Daddy.
Oh, God.
Yes, I have named my dog the one thing that a man has not been able to be for me. So, but I still love men. I do. I love them. I love them. When I find uses for them, it's hard to find uses. Yeah. No, listen. Because I'm gonna be honest here. Look, I am taller than 99.9% of women and a good chunk of men, right? And after enough time of finding useless men, you just start to become useful yourself. Start to do shit for yourself, right? So like, I started to become like really capable, and that made me then, feel like men are less useful. Which is a problem, right? Because it's like, I want one, but then like, I'm so impatient. So like, I just do everything, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I already did. I don't need you now. Okay. So like that's like really what's happening, right? And I'm sitting there going like, okay, so I don't, I'm not finding the man of my dreams this way, clearly, but it's because like, when men are funny, it makes you more attractive. Like you could be like a 5 as a dude, and if you're funny, you could be like a 7, right? Mm-hmm. But as a woman, it's like the opposite. As a woman, if you're funny, it's like you lose 2 or 3 attractiveness points, right? Like, I remember I had a guy once say to me, as he walked up to me, he's like, pretty lady, can I sit next to you? I said, sure. And he starts talking to me, and I start talking back. And at one point I said something, and I thought it was funny, and so I laughed. And he looked at me and he said, you think you're funny? I said, actually, I think I'm fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, but like, and he said, you were a lot prettier before you opened your mouth. Oh. And I said, interestingly enough, you were a lot taller. So you were a lot shorter when you came up here, but from over there, you were a lot taller. And he just kind of like got up and walked away, but it made me think of all the times that I was just a general cunt to men. and I want to say unintentionally so. It wasn't really like, it was just the humor that would just, like word vomit out, that I was like, oh my, that's so funny. And I'd say it and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. That probably wasn't a good thing to say. I was once at a dinner, corporate dinner, because I work in corporate America, and there was a gentleman at the dinner who was rather metrosexual. This was when people were very metrosexual at the time. And he had a very interesting shave situation going on, which was sideburns that would come down and all the way down, like Prince used to have, like they would point to like a little point like this. I don't know if you, like lamb chop sideburns, but, and I couldn't stop staring at these fucking sideburns. I don't know what. And a couple tequila shots in, and the guy was getting on my nerves. And I just looked at him and I said, you know what? I just realized what your sideburns are saying about you. He's like, what's that? I said, they're like 2 little arrows pointing to your mouth saying, insert dick here. Oh! Thank you, that's my time. Remember, you don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
What a show we've had of whimsy and wit. And never ends. Talk of tit. What? Guys, I love you. It's been a fantastic night. I'm so glad you guys came out. And for those of you still in the closet, we're here for you. Those of you who didn't show up, you know where we are. 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard by the Mormon Temple. Shout out ourselves. Shout out ourselves for being our own temple. And follow the LA School of Comedy on Instagram. Go to our website, LASchoolofComedy.com. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sign up 6:30. Show starts at 7. If you think you're funny, probably are, but you won't know. So you take it from the face to the stage.